are your hosts, Candy and
Kimmy. Thank you for being here.
We are so excited today to open you up to the intuitive world of God and the Holy Spirit flowing through us.
Absolutely.
And let's
dive in.
We're
going to go straight into work.
Yeah. So Kimmy, I'm feeling like there's something like really present that a lot of people can get from this first real episode of healing.
Yeah.
What is the first thing that's coming up for you?
The very first thing I would love to address with the audience is the light. And there's a lot of things in our life that we're not feeling the light. We're feeling actually the complete opposite.
Totally. And the dark is so heavy.
Yeah. And especially with the world that we're in today, everyone is so focused on the heavy, the dark, this is going wrong, that we're forgetting about what's actually the light that's around us and within us. And if we're focusing externally that this is all going wrong, we need to actually turn inward because this is what we do have control with. And what we feel internally reflects externally. And I'm going to say that again because I'm going to keep saying this a lot in these shows with angels and aliens. What we feel internally reflects externally. And if you're seeing in your environment the absence of light, heaviness, darkness, that's telling us we actually need to go inward and find that light so that it can project in your reality.
And the truth is, like, during my healing, there's a circle happening.
You're doing
I
a
know
circle.
there's a circle, but we're going to tap into that because every time you kind of get a movement or something, right, it's like, hey, what is this trying to say to us?
Yeah.
You know, so when you get something happening in life, like when I was suffering from panic attacks, all I could focus on was the light. And you know, the famous saying, you know, like one little light lights up the entire room. And when people are like, how are you going to survive from that?
Yeah.
All I could focus on was the light.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what the light was. I just knew there was a light.
You did.
And so you just got to trust in the light without even knowing what it is sometimes, right?
And sometimes it has to take to the depths of like panic attacks. And for me, that really guided me on this journey was deep grief in a weird about way. That heaviness was like a portal to the light for us to remember.
It brings you full circle.
Oh, I like that.
Circle.
There's a circle.
Yeah. Right?
There's a circle.
Really just, you know, remembering, I love things about the circle because that's really about life. We're never always on top.
No.
You know, and then, you know, life happens, you come down, and then, you know, when people are down here, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be stuck down here for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But no, we just got to kind of climb.
It just keeps going.
And it's the circle of life, and it happens for everybody.
Should we watch Lion King?
Oh. My alien is so alien. But what is that meaning in Lion King, right?
It's a circle of life. How everything just keeps revolving and moving
and there's death in there, right?
Yeah, death.
But death can be of the physical or our old selves.
Our identities. Ooh, we should talk about that.
Yeah. Because really, like, I'm going through that a lot. You kind of went through that too.
Yeah,
you made yours seem a little bit more effortless than mine, though.
Yeah, I'm good at faking it.
Okay, good. I mean, I feel like I was crawling out of the depths of hell and maybe still crawling out. And she's just like gracefully like floating up. You know? But that's with trusting, right?
Yeah, totally trusting.
Really trusting in that light so much that it's just going to always take you back to the top of the circle.
Yeah, that faith.
You know?
That faith.
And it's hard to have the faith, right? So what can we teach people on having that faith?
Well, that everything always works out.
Yeah.
If you think about it in your life and how far you've come, like it may have not worked out how your mind may have wanted it to, but if we look at on our whole life from a bird's eye perspective with every single person, it always does work out.
Yeah, and it's just changing that story, right?
Yeah, the story that we tell ourselves.
I think sometimes we can get addicted to a story that we thought it had to turn out like this, but it's actually better turned out some other way.
Yeah.
You know, if you follow the light for that story to turn out. I just keep getting they want us to go way deeper.
That's what I felt.
Yeah.
So, Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to give examples.
Yeah.
We're going to do a little example of working with the light and working
Yeah.
with God and how we go about all of this.
So the first thing I thought of is we were standing on this nail mat,
Yeah.
right? Normally,
Oh, let's give an example. Can you explain a little bit before what you mean by that?
by the nail mat?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the nail mat, like what it is.
Yeah. Because if you're like, what is a
Can I
nail
see
mat?
So here we have a nail mat, and it's a mat with like nails. And Kimmy hadn't seen this before today, and she was just really called to step on it very kind of effortlessly.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like, oh, it got her, but I usually can go on it, and it doesn't hurt me at all. Like, I kind of got to push into it a little bit more just to kind of activate myself. But the last 2 times, it hurts.
Yeah, and that's telling me when something is not in alignment or it hurts or it's uncomfortable, the light is absent.
Yeah. So let's work with my feet.
Perfect. Okay, so we're going to work with Candy's feet to give you an example of how God works. And what we do is we stay curious.
Yeah.
We stay curious and we explore these areas that feel a little absent of the light.
Yeah.
That don't feel
I
congruent.
feel like there's definitely some stuff stuck there.
Yeah, there's definitely some stuff in your feet.
You know, we've never worked on our feet. We've worked on a lot of areas of my body.
No,
First time for the feet.
We haven't never worked with the feet. And feet very...
How do your feet feel?
Well, they feel great after this.
Oh, yeah.
So, Candy, with your
Okay,
feet, do
yeah.
I have permission to work with your feet?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, my alien.
Everything has their own consciousness.
Yeah, well, that's good to ask permission, right? Because we don't ever like to go into somebody's subconscious without permission.
Yes.
It's really a violation of like...
It's like walking on someone naked. You never want to walk on someone naked.
I've never walked on somebody naked, have you?
No.
Oh, you paused.
No, I was trying to think. No, I haven't.
Okay, you're like, no, I haven't.
Yeah, but that's what happens if we don't ask for permission and we're invading someone's space energetically, spiritually. It's literally like walking in on someone who's naked.
Oh, walking in on someone who's naked. That's what you meant.
What did I
thought
say?
You said walking on someone who's naked.
Oh, no, I said I said walking in.
Okay, got it. So, so we do a lot of muscle testing, right?
Yeah,
we do
off-body muscle testing. It's kinesiology. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah, it's really scientifically proven to work. This is not something we've made up. It's
been around for a long time. Yep. So that's one of the ways we do off-body muscle testing, and we also go with feel, getting people to really feel what's going on.
Okay. I feel like I got to sit back.
I want you to sit back, get comfy. And we're going to address walking on the mat, why it's been feeling very uncomfortable for Candy the last couple of times.
They said I'm walking on eggshells.
Oh, see? It's always the very first thing you hear.
Yeah.
That always comes up.
And really listening to that first thing we hear, right?
Yeah, it's always the very first thing.
Yeah, because I do feel that in my life. You know, it's like I come into the office, not sure, where my position is because I'm transitioning and not sure, like, which clients could be my client. There's a lot of kind of tiptoeing around. And then it feels, like, frustrating and angry because this transition isn't fully happened. And it hurts.
Yeah.
You feel a lot of not being seen or heard, or how do you fit in?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So what do you realize from that download?
I realize that you got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right?
Get comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like a daily practice to step on this, to say, hey, it's not comfortable when you step into a new light or a new career or a new relationship, whatever that is, but you don't want to not step into it.
Correct.
And I actually pulled away.
Yeah.
I was like, no, that's scary. I feel like I'm not doing anything. I'm kind of standing around. I don't fit in. And then I feel like I'm just bossing everybody around.
Yeah.
I'm real good at that. And then that's not what I want to be either, right?
No.
And so then it feels just like walking on eggshells. Like, what do I do? Where do I belong?
Yeah, so it's getting you comfortable with the uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, Candy, what is it that your feet need in order to be comfortable and uncomfortable in this transition that you are in your life?
Is stop being so judgmental on how this transition should look. Right? We don't just go into a transition and then we're super successful that next day.
Yeah.
Right? You got to come in and just have grace. Like, I might be at the front desk and not know how to do anything. I might have one client a day or one a month. But, like, just trust that process. When you show up
Yeah.
and God shows up, then you show out, and then you get to show off. But it's a process, right? We can't just show up and show off.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, you trust.
No champion of anything, no great artist at anything painted one thing or did one session and was great,
Yeah.
right? You transpire into that greatness.
And you know what that trust feels like?
That's scary. I feel like it's like me standing on the edge of this stage and just falling backwards, and like my alien's gonna catch me.
Yeah.
She always catches me.
Always catch her. But what is so scary about trusting?
You know, you don't want to fail, right? You don't want to be seen as less than. Which is funny because I love failing, because that's where we learn the most.
Yeah.
Right? But we forget because our egoic mind gets in the way. And it's like, oh, you're not enough. You're not good enough. Or this isn't enough. Instead of just knowing that we are enough. We have everything that we need already.
Yeah.
You know, and you just got to kind of step into it.
Ooh, step into it. Can you step into it?
Yeah.
I feel like you need to step into it. What you just said, I want you to step into it.
Oh, it hurts so much less. Still prickery.
Yeah, keep stepping into it, and I really want you to feel that.
I feel like you're torturing me. Yeah. When I close my eyes, I can see a circle.
Oh, good. The circle.
Yeah.
Ooh, how can you bring the circle into this with your feet in this transition you are in your life?
Yeah, so it's just remembering that we're not going to be down here the whole time. You know?
Yeah.
And this, when you climb, it builds strength, endurance, lessons, right? So climbing is actually kind of the funnest part of the journey.
Oh, where do you think you are on the circle?
I think I'm like right here, like teeter-tottering off, you know? So it feels like a long way, and I just want to be there.
Yeah.
But if I just showed up there, then nobody would care.
And what is it that your feet need right here in order to keep moving?
I just saw like cleats.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
So I can stick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is your cleats?
See, I've been trying to rely on my husband as my cleats. It's not working
guy.
so much. I need God to be my cleats.
There you go.
Yeah. He's like, hallelujah. Like, he's been here all the time, right?
Oh,
he's
I like
always there all the time,
that.
right? He's like, when are you going to acknowledge me instead of trying to make somebody else be my cleats?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Can you lock that in?
I locked that in. That feels real good.
And can you strap that on your feet?
Oh.
God's cleats.
I got them on. They feel very light, too. I thought
there's a
I thought
light.
they'd feel heavy, but they don't. Right?
Oh, that's special. God's cleats.
Yeah, God's cleats. So what a great example.
I know. That was nice.
It's just really sweet. And just noticing those things that come up that don't feel so congruent.
And it's really getting yourself to stay curious, just to really feel. Like I didn't have to tell Candy anything. She just felt.
Yeah.
Just getting,
And
don't be
listening
afraid
to that
feel.
voice, right?
It's the very first thing, and that's how the intuition, the foreign voice, the alien voice in us, it's always the very first thing you hear.
And we're so scared of that, right? Like, why are we scared of aliens? We've never actually seen one. I mean, they say people have, but Well, you probably have seen them, haven't you? What do you see when you see the aliens?
Light.
Do they bring messages for you?
Yeah.
Or are they just friends?
Well, depends where you want to go with this.
Well, so for me, when I do a session with a client, and I usually use the word they.
Yeah,
Because
me
for
too.
me, it's usually like Father, Son, or Holy Spirit, or God,
Yeah.
or somebody that's passed on for them that wants to come through,
Yeah.
or even sometimes somebody that hasn't passed on that just has a message to help them out, right? But I don't really think I've actually been in a level with angels and aliens.
Yeah.
You know, I'm more in that's kind of my realm of who speaks really easy to me. So that's a different realm. Do they share the same kind of knowledge?
The same knowledge. They're just up there with, I wouldn't say what dimension they are, but they're very high up there. And I refer to them as highly evolved beings.
Oh, okay.
Highly evolved beings.
I kind of feel like I see like they don't have an egoic mind.
No, there's
so
no
that's
ego.
why they can just flow.
Correct.
And trust and be.
And they're here to also help humanity because we share a solar system with each other, and if Earth is where it's heading, you know, not only affects our planet, it affects the whole galaxy, it affects the whole solar system.
Yeah, it's really got in my throat chakra now.
Oh, you feel it right here?
Yeah, because you know what? The media teaches us to fear that world.
They do.
But you got to really persist what we resist.
Yeah.
Right? Because who says it's a bad world? Just people have created up stories and movies and, you know, that they're like weird creatures.
They're bad, they're evil, they're here to take over planet Earth. If they were bad, they would have done it a long time ago. But they're working with the angels, they're working with the archangels, they're working with God.
Yeah, so being really God-based, how do you think people who are hearing this for the first time feel about bringing in angels and aliens into that?
Well, I'm going to give you an example, and you could take this however you want. But if you really think about it, when Jesus came into earth, and what he was doing is like healing the blind, healing the sick, releasing entities from people, like doing all these foreign things that is alien-like, because to our Homo sapien mind, that's like, what is that? You know what I mean? So if we can really get outside the box and expand and stay really curious, what Jesus was really showing us, he was working in all dimensions.
Yeah, that makes me
think of... He was working in all dimensions.
Like, you know, Dr. Joe Dispenza has these meditations, and he talks about the space beyond the space. So when you just think of like the space between your shoulders, like life might be heavy on your shoulders, and when you just give it a little space, and then think of the space beyond us, beyond us, it's like, is this problem really that big of a problem?
Yeah.
You know, just kind of shift that perspective to get out of our egoic mind, like we can't handle this. Or we need, you know, medicines or all this stuff. And I'm not against that stuff. I've used all of that stuff to help me in a season. But until we really get outside of that space and inside, right? It's kind of like the combination. Well, it's like an equation they show me. It's like the space outside the space plus inside the space equals space.
Equals. Did we just do a circle? Okay.
So anytime you guys are suffering with a problem,
a deep problem,
just remember the space beyond the space.
And remember the circle. It just keeps revolving.
And so if you're stuck down here, strap on your cleats.
Strap on your God cleats.
And keep climbing.
And listen to your alien intuition.
Thank you for joining us on Angels and
Aliens.